Easy.
Mom! Mom! Dad! Dad!
The Caped Crusader. The Silent Protector. The Dark Knight. These are names we've all come to know over the past 75 years. They all belong to none other than the vigilante known as Batman. The year was 1939, and National Comics were looking for a new superhero after their recent success with Superman. They needed something different. They needed another rousing success. So, comic book artist Bob Kane conceived a drawing for a new hero, to which he then showed to his co-worker/writer, Bill Finger. As Finger recalls, Kane had an idea for a character called Batman, and he'd like me to see the drawings. I went over to Kane's, and he had drawn a character that looked very much like Superman. But Finger made many suggestions to make the character differ from Superman, such as a cape instead of wings, a cowl instead of a mask, and gloves. Little did they know, they created an iconic superhero that would last for many years to come.
They don't even wait for an order. Kids these days, no respect.
Superman may have been the first superhero to shine, but Batman was the shadow to fill in the darkness. Over the years, Batman has varied in many different interpretations, tones, media, the list goes on. Not only has Batman differed in visual appearance, but in his tone as well. The character has gotten continuously darker with almost every interpretation. Although the character started with darker roots, around the late 30s, early 50s, the character started going down some more positive tones. This lasted for quite some time, that is, until DC decided that this wasn't the road they wanted their character to go down. Another way to look at it is that they saw the character was straying from what he represented. He was becoming less of what he originally embodied, almost as if the death of his parents never fazed him at the very least. He was becoming too child-friendly, and eventually the children would grow up and get tired of this. They'd want something new from the Caped Crusader. He couldn't always be fighting aliens every issue. But that all changed with Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns and Batman Year One. They served as a way to return to the character's darker roots. To show how different this Dark Knight was to the other, here are some clip comparisons.
Question. Have you recently sold any war surplus submarines, and if so, to whom?
Salt and corrosion. The infamous old enemies of the crime fighter.
What was that? Just the right kind of cut above the eyes. The kind that bleeds.
True, Robin.
It was noble of that animal to hurl himself into the path of that final torpedo. He gave his life for ours.
You don't get it, son. This isn't a mud hole. It's an operating table. And I'm the surgeon.
Some days you just can't get rid of a bomb.
Not only did the comics get darker, but so did the movies. The character was coming back into what Bob Kane originally intended him to be. Well, almost all the movies.
What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age!
Ice puns? Really? Waller, this is crap.
Righto-rooney.
The cartoons also got a lot darker too, walking the border of what was acceptable to be shown on television during these times. And a lot of the general audience actually accepted this new consistent tone for the Batman's character.
Anything except himself.
It was something like no other superhero cartoon almost. He became a dark, serious character, showing how not all cartoons are happy-go-lucky fun, but they can actually have depth and a story.
It's okay, Tim. It's okay.
Batman has not only changed in tone, but he has also become a much more complex character psychologically, though most would argue that he always was. Most psychologists would say that Batman suffers from post-traumatic stress disorder. Post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD, is something that can be triggered in someone's mind witnessing or seeing something terrifying. This is usually common in soldiers returning from war. However, considering the horrible childhood trauma Batman witnessed at a very young age, it's understandable that he has PTSD. Regardless of whether or not he's a crazy, mentally disturbed man, Batman has come so far as a character of complexity and has a much more of a deeper meaning. In other words, Batman has been around for so long, going through sort of an evolution. He's no longer just a depressed millionaire. He's more than that. He has become a representation of what some people wish they could do to fight for what's right, to uphold truth and justice. He represents both the flawed nature of man and its capability for absolute perfection. He's the Batman and he's timeless. Here's hoping for another 75 years.
I'm not finished yet. And you're not finished with me. You're never finished with me.
We're going down. This could be the end.
Our job is finished.